Hello everyone, it is Joe here from OmniPoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon, and today it's time for Zoroark Drampa, the archetype that made top 4 in Madison and actually made it all the way to the final in the Birmingham Regional Championships. An archetype that pops up really because it has quite a few favourables and is actually in its own right a very powerful deck, I feel. Many people looked at this and said, yeah, I can see how this beats Drampa Garbodor, but what else can it do? And in terms of playtesting, I found that it can do quite a lot. A lot of decks are very focused on Brigette now, and they need to Tapu lele to find Brigette, so oftentimes people naturally can't function without a large bench size. So Zoroark is very powerful. It gains Choice Band, we have Kukui, so it's hard for decks to play around his damage. And also Zoroark BREAK is amazing in this format when there's a lot of things that can one-hit KO stuff, and typically they're GX Pokemon, things like Tapu Bulu and opposing Drampas, even the Ninetales as well. These sorts of Pokemon that all like to get big one-hit KOs, we can copy for just 1 energy with the break. So Zoroark is amazing in this format right now, and complementing him is going to be Drampa. So let's look at the list. 4-4-2 is the line I've gone for with Zoroark. You may notice that this list is not either Brian's or Daniel's. I've gone for a mix between the two because there are aspects that I like about both players' lists. The 4-4-2 line I'm happy with. The Zoroark break is a key component. We do have 140 HP. Dark type, we gain the foul play attack that allows us to choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. So for a single dark cost, we can copy opposing Drampas, Tapu Bulu GX, Vikavolt GX. We can steal GX attacks, of course, which is big. Lycanroc GX. There's loads of things that we can steal for just 1 dark energy, and it's super ridiculously efficient and good for us. Even non-GX attacks are worth stealing sometimes. Even things like Rayquaza, if you just let them have the Skyfield in play, you can fill your own bench up. So either you can do your own Mind Jack to hurt their bench, or you can foul play your own bench. So that's pretty cool. There's tons of different Pokemon out there that are worth stealing attacks from, and we're going to cash in on that very efficiently. But we do also have the awesome Stage 1 Zoroark that has the standing ability. Once during your turn, if he's on the bench, you may switch him with your active Pokemon. This is helpful to prevent stalling if you have Octillery, or if you don't wish to attack your Drampa and it's in the active, we can simply move into the Zoroark turn 2 quite effectively. It also means that we can protect our Zoruas on the bench quite often and not be too worried because we can simply stand in when we are ready. Mind Jack is the attack that does 10 plus 30 for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon for just the double colorless cost. So again, very efficient, very powerful. I was saying everyone is built around Brigette these days, and that's very much the case. So people either go for their full setup and Zoroark is swinging very hard, or they're trying to go for a half-baked approach on their side of the board. Zoroark's still hitting hard, but he's not probably getting one-hit KOs. At the same time, we're playing a very high choice band count and double Kukui, so we're trying to rack up our own side of the board as much as we can every single turn. So a lot of the time, if they're going for just a half-baked approach, we can still make one-hit KOs quite a lot. So yeah, Mind Jack, very, very powerful. Quick note on the Zorua, you want to use Moonless Madness 1 because you can confuse things, and this is very good against like Sylveon. Very good against any Pokemon really, just to stall in the early turns, to protect your little guys from getting knocked out. And confusion, putting these extra 30s here and there can be really nice for you, so very good stuff. We just have the 2 Drampa GX. We've seen how powerful this card can be when combined with Garbodor. In here, he's going to be the stable output that we can't get from the Zoroark. It's going to be provided by the Drampa. It has 3 good attacks. The first is Righteous Edge, doing 20, and you get to discard a special from your opponent's active. Very good against a bunch of archetypes again. Harping back to Rayquaza, Vespiquen in the early turns if you need to do that. Decidueye. There's all sorts. So yeah, just really covers a lot right now, and is nice for slowing people down again because you have so many frail Pokemon on your side of the field. Being able to slow other decks down while you build up into your higher stages of evolution, this is going to be good for you. Then you have the Berserk attack, which is awesome. For 3 colorless energy, you deal 80, and if your opponent's No, sorry, if your own bench has any damage counters on, you can do an additional 70, which is 150, 180 with one of our many choice bands. We do play 2 Magma base in here, so we can activate Drampa by turn 2, getting potentially 180 damage, which is still really, really nuts. So very good. And we also have the Big Wheel GX if we need to shuffle our hand if it's dead, or if it's late game we've been hit with an N, we can Big Wheel and pretty much guarantee ourselves the next turn win, unless they can manage to find themselves another N, of course. So yeah, very good card. 2 Tapu Lele GX for the Wonder Tag ability mainly, because we want to find our own Brigette turn 1. We want to find some of our specific supporters. Teammates is a big card in the deck, as is things like Hex and Kukui at times. Very good. We have the Energy Drive option as well, and it's a very good option. When you're playing 4 choice band and double Kukui, Lele is very efficient as well, so very good stuff. We are going to play the single Oricorio for the Supernatural Dance. For each Pokemon in your opponent's discard pile, you may put 1 damage counter on your opponent's Pokemon in any way that you like. This is going to defend against the Vespiquen archetype that ended up winning in Madison. So having an option against that is going to be very strong. And also it can sometimes be an answer, or an extra answer, to Gyarados. They of course play like 4 rescue stretchers and puzzles. But sometimes there'll be just like 2 Pokemon in their discard pile, and you can get an extra double knockout on Magikarps at times, so this can be very good for you. We also have Revelation Dance, which is, I guess, an option. There's a lot of stadiums being played right now. Just 1 for 30 if there's a stadium that does nothing, but again, Choice Bank Kukui, you can even do good numbers with this guy and finish things off, so don't sleep on Oricorio. Very good card for finishing things off or putting things in range of a future Mind Jack, so very good one-of that I really like in here. One of the things I loved from Brian's list was the 1-1 line of Octillery. It served him very well during the weekend, and it's great for helping you end-proof yourself. We are playing evolutions. We need to keep finding these pieces. We need to keep finding Double Colorless, and it just means that we can't get end to 2 and basically lose the game unless they also have ability lock on us. So yeah, Abyssal Hand is going to be nice for this. Once during a turn you may draw until you have 5 in hand. That's the entire reason why Octillery is in the deck, and it's very good for that reason. Alrighty, let's have a look at our items. We are going to play 1 special charge to recover Double Colorless because it is integral for Lele, Mind Jack, and also Berserks, which is cool. It's also going to help us retreat out of things if we don't have stand-in available to us, because we're not actually playing Field Blower in here. Potentially it's 1 card that you could put in the list, because we are fairly ability reliant on stand-in, and I guess you can think Abyssal Hand as well is going to be helpful for you. Of course, there's nothing stopping us Lysandre KOing Garbodor. More often than not, I feel that Drampa Garb tries to limit their bench so much that they don't really have the space to put down the Garbotoxin more than anything. So that's why I'm not playing Field Blower, but you could cut to 3rd choice band to put Blower in if you really felt it was necessary. 2 Rescue Stretcher. I feel this is better than just playing a 3rd Break and 1 Stretcher. I think this is more versatile. It can recover the Oricorio in those matchups where it's important. It can recover Octillery if it is going to get targeted for knockouts. And in the super late game, it can grab Lele's to grab those final supporters to win you the game. For Ultra Ball, for VS Seeker, the standard consistency cards. I'm happy with high item counts. Even though we've seen a lot of people drop down to 3 VS Seeker, I still think 4 is fine. You can manage the resources okay. Especially when you have Octillery just to keep your hand high. You don't need to keep digging for supporters a lot of the time. If you are up against Drampa Garb. Just the 2 Magma Secret Base. We're not a huge focus on our own Drampa, but it's there as the option to accelerate it. Also, if people can't bounce this stadium, it gets things even more in range for our Mind Jack, which is awesome. Bear in mind, a lot of people get around it with Brigette anyway, but in matchups where they're trying to limit their own bench, they won't be going for Brigette. So there we go. A couple of one-offs. Teammates is great in very heavy non-EX lists like this one, because we can grab specific pieces, find our next Zoroark BREAK, find our next Double Colorless or our Dark Energy, dig those out and just make sure that we can guarantee KOs. 1 Hex Maniac, going to be important against the Greninjas of the world, the Decidueyes, Vika Volt, Tapu Bulu, and a few others here and there as well. Things like Mega Rayquaza is always, and Mega Gardevoir is always good. Against some decks, you can just try and Hex turn 1 to stop their own setup, so Hex is going to be good in a load of spots. quite a few 2-ofs in the deck. 2 Brigette, because I think it's too important to prize when we're so focused on a real thick line of a stage 1, and we're also trying to jam in the Octillery as well. 2 Lysandre to pick off the easy prizes when possible. You have to be careful about taking easy prizes because you want to keep the opponent's bench as high as possible. So typically, Lysandre's only ready for the late game, or if we need to bring something up that they're trying to build on the bench. So we have to be sparing with Lysandre because it can be punishable. But at the same time, if we just start powering up Drampas in the background, if we have a few turns of free attachments, they can commit to Drampa, and Lysandre's going to be great for that, for finishing things off. 2 Kukui, it pushes Drampa to 200, which is good against evolutions. It also pushes Zoroark that much further, depending on your opponent's bench, and pushes us into range of things. With Choice Band Kukui, we can one-hit KO Ninetales GX with their own Blizzard Edge. Things like this is very cute and very useful, so I like the 2 of there. And especially when you have Octillery support, it feels like a lot of the time you can winningly go for these sorts of supporter cards because there's not much else you need in your turn. We have the 3 and the 3 Sycamore to try and just remain as consistent as possible. The 4 of Choice Band I really like in here, just because it's such a powerful card. We gain so much from it, the numbers are beautiful, so just trying to whiff this as little as possible is going to be great. And the 2 Floatstone as well. Put 1 on one of your Zoroarks and you can move between all your dudes throughout the game, or just put them on the other targets so we can keep it open for Choice Band depending on how we want to play it. But it just means that some of our chunky retreaters are dealt with, which is cool. And then rounding it off with just 10 energy, very simple. The Double Colorless for the Drampa, the Lele, the Zoroark, and the 6 Dark to complement the Foul Play and get other attacks in there as well. So there we go, that is going to be the list. There's a few other options. I know Altavia played Oranguru over Octillery. I personally think when you're playing a heavy Brigette engine, you can get away with Octillery and it won't punish you very much, and gaining more cards is good for you. So that's why I'm going for that. Also, the Coco promo is an option, the Flying Flip. He's a free retreater, he's good in the early game. He again can set things up for Zoroark. I again think that Altavia played this as well. The idea being, if your opponent is trying to go for a slower approach by not benching many things, you can punish that by getting a few free flying flips in and getting things with prior damage on. But I think by playing Double Kukui, we sort of do the same thing. I'm happy enough with Oricorio as a sort of Gyarados plus Vespi counter, so I don't feel like Coco is necessary, but it's a good enough card to play if you wish. Personally, I actually think bench space is quite an issue more than anything. When you're guaranteeing one of the slots to be Remoraid, one's almost always Lele, you just want to have the rest for Zorua and Drampa, really, unless Oricorio is integral to the matchup, so I don't feel it's worth playing Coco. Field Blower is the only other card that I'm really considering. I think this is right now my 61st card. Playing around with trying to get away with 3 Choice Band is fine if you want to, but I feel people try and play around your damage so much that it's worth playing more bands than anything else. If you're feeling cheeky, you could drop a VS Seeker for Field Blower, depending on how much Garbodor you're expecting. I think right now the format's so open that it's okay to get away with it, but potentially this card could be necessary. I know that both guys didn't play it, so I guess they're the ones who have pioneered the archetype, and that's why I've not gone for it. Brian did play Delinquent, and I think it's pretty cool because it can contest the Stadium War. Brian actually didn't play stadiums of his own, so I think this was his means of trying to gain spaces more than anything else and still be able to contest when it's important. But Delinquent can surprise people in random spots, so that's potentially a good card for you. Also, beyond that, I think Rainbow Energy is also an option. This is again something that Brian played in his list. Again, he wasn't playing the Stadium, so this was his activator for Drampa. Personally, I'm preferring just the basic darts right now. But that is pretty much going to be it. Actually, there's one other supporter I want to talk about. Fan Club. You could play 1 Brigette, 1 Fan Club. It probably won't punish you in many spots, and it does give you additional activations or potential to activate Team Magma Secret Base, so you could consider that card. Right now I'm happy enough with 2 Brigette. I haven't felt punished by the lack of combo with Fan Club plus Magma Base. Sometimes you do just Brigette for 2 targets, of course, that's an option. So it feels like it's a Fan Club at the worst of times. So there we go. That was going to be the list. I don't feel like anything else is too necessary. I will make one note, actually. One of the things that I've been toying around with is cutting the Drampa line completely. If you cut the 2 Stadium, the 2 Drampa, you can make space for double Eevee, and then just play 1 Umbreon GX and 1 Flareon. I know I've already profiled Zoroark Umbreon fairly recently, that's why I've not made that build today. But because of the popularity of Metagross, I'd really consider trying to play Evolutions. I'd actually also play Vaporeon. I'd find a space for one of these, so I'd play a 2-1-1-1 line, one of them being Vaporeon, 1 Flareon, 1 Umbreon. That's what I was trying on the ladder this week as well on stream. It wasn't working amazingly, I wasn't drawing fantastically, but the slots that come out, a 2 Drampa, 2 Stadium, and like 1 Choice Band I think comes out. So you don't lose any consistency cards. So in theory, playing the 2-1-1-1 line won't hurt you in terms of consistency in comparison to this list. And at the same time, it, in theory, helps out a couple of matchups. You gain a better Volcanion, you gain a better Metagross, you also have a better Decidueye. And I think those archetypes are worth noting and worth trying to tech against. But for now, Drampa is overall just a better attacker. So we are going to stick with him, we are going to save the deck, and we are going to have some games with this list because it has done well, and I feel it is very good, and will probably be a more common archetype now that we've seen its success both here and abroad. So let's jump into some battles. We start off against Ghost Fox, 29. He's got the Salamence coin. We're going to win the flip, which is excellent for evolution decks. It also means potentially we can get an extra attachment in this turn. We have Ultra Ball for Lele, and Lele gets us the whole board. So if we top deck an energy, this is an absolute dream hand. If we don't get energy, I still probably Brigette here. But we can live with this. Okay, so straight away, if we were playing the Umbreon build, we'd be much happier right now. But we're not. We are playing the Quad Zoro with just Drampa. We actually did top deck Dark Energy, so this is, by all accounts, the ideal hand here. We have Lele, we have turn 1 Brigette, and we are going to take that option and go for it. We will Brigette. One awkward thing, Metagross is actually a fairly awkward matchup if you don't play the Flareon, because the only attack you can copy is 150 damage, and they have 250, so we can't even like band Kukui our way up to get 1-hit knockouts, so it is potentially awkward. Drampa is also limited, he can't get a 1-hit KO, so we'll see how this plays out here. One good thing is that oftentimes they need to Brigette turn 1, so if they go Lele Brigette, they could have a full bench and we could start pounding away with Zorua. They actually have to Sycamore turn 1. They play Hallow, which is interesting. More often than not, I go slow on the GX attack of the Metagross. They actually play Genesect EX, and this could be a real good option for us. It's something that Drampa can easily pick off, and if they have to play Lele down during their game, we could just have a real good time against this deck now. We have Choice Band, so I'm going to commit this to the benched Zorua. I think that's our best bet. I'm not going to end here. I mean, I'm not going to Hex here because I don't think it's good enough. So we'll end. Try and find some evolutions. Try and find Double Colorless. This is why we put the Choice Band on the bench, because now we can Double Colorless and hit this Genesect for a little bit of damage. There's no energy in his discard pile yet, so I feel fairly safe doing this. Berserk for 80, it's not amazing, it's not the turn 2 KO, but it's at the very least threatening this Genesect, forcing him to get some candies going, forcing him to discard some energy. He's actually just going to max potion this off, so that's absolutely fine. See the rare candy. Choosing to do it on the non-floatstone one, interesting. Does the maths matter? I guess it means he can KO a Drampa with this guy later on with Choice Band. Okay, makes sense, makes sense. They can Ultra Ball. Gonna get rid of a Stretcher and a Fan Club. Probably just going for Lele for a different supporter, I would imagine. Unless it's gonna be a Metang, and then they have a VS Seeker in hand. Ooh, they play Shaman. This is a very different list to the winning list that we saw. Oh, Choice Band in the active's fine because they have Drive Change. I was thinking like it should always go here, but there's no reason for it to not be here. If he can somehow discard another energy, get a Candy off, he could actually one-hit KO this Drampa, but I feel it's unlikely. We're going to see a VS Seeker. Actually, it's not too unlikely. They still have their supporter for turn. Huh. This could be pretty crazy. Going to see the Howler. They've not GX attacked yet. The Madman! The Madman. Now it's less likely. We see the Drive Change picking up the tool, the Choice Band. See the Geotech system to the active. And just the pass. Okay. Double Colorless is quite good for us. I think I'm going to Lysandre Metagross here. Because he's commit all of his energy from his discard to the bench, his Geotech system is way worse now. We'll DC Zorua, I feel. DC is still good for Lele. We'll attach a Dark, and we'll just Berserk for 80 again. He's spent one Max Potion. We haven't seen a Lele or a Psychic, so I feel this is good. He's already committed one Floatstone. I'm surprised if he plays more than two. So yeah, we're just going to see a Max Potion, a benching of a Beldum. Choice Band comes back down onto the Genesect, and we get End, which is really cool for us. We needed this refresh here. It's a potentially awkward hand. Let's see a Field Blower, which is kind of sad. Does he have energy to attach? I wonder. You can see the Drive Change again, putting the Choice Band to hand. Maybe it's an Algorithm turn. Nope. Nothing. Okay. I'm going to evolve this Zoroark here, I think. Copying attacks aren't that good, so we'll actually just do this one. I will put the Stadium into play. Annoying that we have to get rid of Special Charge and 2 energies, but we've committed quite a few to the board already. I think we should be fine. Get our second Zoroark out. We also have Ultra Ball to get ourselves a Pokemon to get discarded. We'll do this. Sorry, not discarded, damaged. I think I'm just going to do another Zorua, get the army out. I think I only want to use Drampa as a GX Pokemon to attack with for a lot of the game. Difference between 180 and 150 is 0. I'd rather keep this Choice Band around for like carrying a Genesect later on. So we'll just Berserk here for 150, thanks to our Stadium and Zorua. They've gone through 2 Max Potion. Typically the deck plays 3. So we'll see what's going on here. They've already commit Shaman and Genesect to the board. And this is great news for us for late game prizes. So let's see what our opponent can come up with next. Hopefully it's not Delinquent. I'd be amazed if Metagross plays Delinquent. Yeah, just a pass. Their hand is terrible. That's really good for us. So Discard as many metal as you like. So even if we copy it, we're capped at 130 with a choice band. Let's commit choice band here. I don't think I actually want to play a card. I don't want to end, obviously. Don't want to Lysandre. Can't teammates, so we'll just wait and take the KO. Don't want to Sycamore away 2 stretches, that feels painful. So we'll be passive. Well, I say passive, we're taking 2 prizes, right? But the opponent's not done much. See a second Genesect DX come onto the board. That is crazy. Does he not know how good of an attacker Metagross is? Didn't get the memo. So let's see. They're going to retreat into Shaman and pass. That does not sound right to me. That is madness. Absolute madness. We want to commit this energy. I think it's just going to be a second dart to this Zoroark. Do I play Kukui to try and play some more cards? I guess so. Oh, Kukui, you beast. What a beast. That's how you Kukui, boys and girls. Okay, let's go. More prizes ahead. We now have the Kukui in the discard pile to activate our like other VS Seekers as well. Which is good if we're going to get hit with an N, which we probably will. Although they've done nothing in the last few turns. And they have to scoop. That was a weird list of Metagross, different from the successful lists at least. So let's try and find another game and see if this changes things. We will flip the coin. This time going second. And we'll see what we're up against here. Gonna lead Drampa. We have our Brigette. Don't want to put both Drampas down. Yeah, let's put both down. Oh, we're up against Tapu Koko. So copying Koko's GX attack is going to be one way that we can knock him out. Playing Choice Band Kukui can also knock him out at points. Just Choice Banding Drampas can knock out Koko's, so this shouldn't be an issue. One thing that could be a problem is the fact that we don't play Field Blower. So if they are playing things like Aether Paradise and Fury Belt, this could become an issue. But we do play Hex. Let's not forget that. So, oh, they do play Aether Paradise. We just saw one go into the discard pile early with an Ultra Ball. Why do I always get punished when I don't play Field Blower? I need to put 1 in here somehow. Need to find a space for 1. I just love playing 4 Choice Band though. Random thought stop me. You guys are used to that by now. Again, it's a hand where we have Brigette but no energy, so let's cross our fingers. Lele for Fan Club. Of course, he can't play Brigette because he wants to get Aero Trails working. They're going to grab Drampa and Shaman. Interesting. Interesting that he plays the single copy of Drampa. Seems to be coming into decks more and more as like just a one-off guy. Look at that moustache. What a beast. Oh my goodness. Turn 1 Koko? Well, turn 2 because he can't attack this turn. But that's pretty scary. 2 elixirs in the opening hand, huh? Gross. Well, once again, our opponent has started to bench a lot of cards. I guess because they've only seen Drampas. And, like, now when they see the Zoruas come down, they're like, oh, crud. Forgot to play around this guy, huh? So we prized one break, which is an issue. We have the Octillery in here. Both stretches. All of our energy. We didn't top deck one this time. So it's just going to be a pass. Not ideal. But getting any damage on this guy would be irrelevant. So I don't think I'd attach to the active. I think I'd have to attach to this guy. If at all. We do pick up the Ultra Ball though, so we can... oh, we didn't prize these guys. What am I saying? They're in my hand. Whoops. Ooh, attach pass. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Let's Ultra Ball, find Octillery, get some cards going. Is it safer just to lele? Yeah, it's safer to lele. We'll just lele Sycamore here instead. The Octillery will naturally come to us later. Put this guy back in. Put this here, put this here. And we'll Sycamore. Okay, we hit some Double Colorless. We hit another Zoroark. 3, 6, 9, 10. 13 if I want it. I imagine they have another Coco, and this is a bait. But we do have 2 Zoroark set up, right? There's something here making me think I want to attack with Lele. I could Float Stone active, Choice Band bench, hit for 90. I think protecting Zoroarks is smarter. I'm not going to attach Float Stone to Zoro because I want to keep it open for potential other Choice Bands. Is 60 good enough here? 60 might be good enough. They go 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. Yeah, the Choice Band's worth keeping. The good news is against Tapu Koko, they have to bench their next Koko every time, so they will be filling the bench for Zoroark. So Double Colorless get attached. What is this madness? What is this madness? See the retreat into Drampa. We've activated the Koko shenanigans. So with a Choice Band, they could get a Berserk KO. Didn't play around it, but at the same time, if they're going to do that, they get rid of a lot of energy, because we can respond. If we find Kukui. Or if we find a break plus a dark energy. Interesting. Oh no, because we don't have anything damaged on our own side. Yeah, they're just going to dig for the Skylar here. Get the Grandpa KO. So if we can KO this turn... No, we can't. Unless we draw exactly Magma Base here. Okay, no Magma Base. Okay. We are going to end rather than Sycamore because I want to try and hurt their hand size and make it less likely for them to get the next Koko down. Because it still feels like if we can just get rid of their energy, we win the game. 160. Seems alright. We found a break. We have a great turn next turn as well. See a field blower from our opponent. Probably just the 2 bench guys. There's Aether Paradise. Doesn't protect his Drampa, fortunately for us. One great thing is Zoroark BREAK has 140, and if he's using Choice Band build like it looks like, he can't one-hit KO us with Sky High Claws, so that's going to be excellent. Do you see the VS Seeker for the end? Slightly frustrating, but it's the only supporter they have, right? Yeah, Fang Club and Skylar aren't doing much for them. We actually draw into a good hand, so that's fine. Let's see if they can find any more elixirs, any more manual attachments, or they found a Coco. Okie dokie. So this is going to jump in. Good news is he has 4 energy in play, so we can copy his GX attack for the knockout next turn. That should wrap things up. Sky High Claws getting the knockout. It's 50 times, isn't it? 5, 10, 15, 20 minus the 30. Schemes. Good old schemes. Don't let your memes be schemes. Do I keep the bench slot open for Lele? No. Because we can get Octillery at any point and be fine with our draws. Just not today. We don't need this on the active, so we will just Tapu Thunder. Wipe out all the energy, except for 1 on an already damaged Coco. End to 3. Played 2 elixirs. I think we're in good shape here. They've used their GX attack as well, so I don't think they can get a one-hit KO on us. Unless they get a crazy, like, elixir, DCE, somehow retreat into Drampa. But even if they do that, then Drampa's 2 more prizes for us, and they're back to having just 1 energy on board. So I think we're going to get there. There's the Double Colorless to Lele. Well, this really isn't going to do much. Okay, they max potion Drampa. I don't feel like that's important. Energy Drive for 60 is nothing. Wow, 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We still haven't found Kukui. This is why I want to play 2 every time. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 10 off. It's so rough. So, in this case, we want to attach here. Yeah, we'll just do this. Let's copy the energy drive, hit them back for 60, set them up a little bit. Oh, I didn't hex. Whoops. Should have hexed. I don't think it's too big of a deal though. Well, maybe it is. Probably is. Should have played it. That was just... I was thinking about other things. I definitely should have hexed there. Okay. Didn't get punished because their hand is bad. Good news for us. Now we will 3, 6, 9, 12, 13. Yeah, we DCE. Remember to stand in pre-hex. Put this on the board. Trying to play around N at all points now. I don't really care about Field Blower, I don't think, because we can just Lysandre a Shaman next turn for game. If they can't N. And if they do N, they're only getting 3 cards, and I don't think they can respond on this sort of board with only 3 cards. So, oh, that's why we haven't found Kukui all game. They were there. Good old not prize checking. I think I said at the start of the game I prized things, but they were just in my hand. What a fool! What a fool! Okay, energy to Grandpa. Drampa the grandpa. And the pass. So 3, 6, 9, 10. We can stand in. Oh no, because we haven't got. Right, hold on. We don't have the game. We don't have the game just yet, do we? 3, 6, 9, 10. No. Oh, I can copy Sky High Claws. Yeah. Cool. We do have the game. Nice. We got there just by copying their own attacks, and that's really good for us. Very nice. Let's have one more game with this deck. We've so far taken down a Coco, and I've forgotten our first game. What was it? Metagross, yeah. Although the Metagross kind of dead drew. The Coco also kind of dead drew, but we did end them to 3, and they'd already commit a lot of Lele and Shaman to the board. So I think we were fine. I think because we started Drampa, they were happy to commit Shaman and Lele, and then they're just like, oh wait, you're not the Garbodor. Huh, whoops. So yeah. We're up against Balbanes, and we're going to flip the coin one last time for today. And our opponent's going to choose who goes first here. And they're going to go first. So we will shuffle up. Leading Zorua this time. Again, we have the Brigette in hand. Oh, the joys of playing double Brigette. It's phenomenal. And we have energy in hand as well this time. So it's going to be excellent. I can't wait. And looks like we're up against an evolution list. I wonder if it's Espeon Garb or Sylveon or Umbreon, Zoro. Could be in a mirror. Imagine that. Let's find out. Could even be Vespiquen, because Pram liked to play one Troll Eevee. Oh, it's Acrobike. This might be Vespiquen. This could well be. Could it be? Could it be? Oh, it's Vespiquen. Interesting. You shouldn't play this Eevee, because it has a 2 retreat cost, and that's really bad. But at the same time, you only play DCE, so the retreat cost doesn't matter. Maybe play this for Quick Draw. Interesting. What's better, Quick Draw or Tackle? Maybe Quick Draw. Okay, I've convinced myself. Play this one. The other one can do like 10 damage here and there. I guess with Choice Band, 10 damage is much more relevant. But you only play a 2 count. So many random thoughts today. What's the best Eevee to play in Vespi? Answers on a postcard. Or down below, whichever's easier. No, don't end us into this hand. Double Eevee. They've put 3 to their bench already. We have 4 choice bands, so we can always discard one of these quite contently. We still Lele for Brigette here every time. We have Oricorio that we will keep super secret for now. But later we will be destroying him with it. We have prized Octillery this time. We've prized 1 Zoroark, 1's in hand. We've prized 1 Zorua. We have prized... What else have we prized? 1 Kukui. That's 4 of them. Yeah, we'll figure it out as we go. So lazy. Do I want to do this? Yeah, it's always Lele, but I'm just thinking if I want to grab Brigette and have an empty hand, like a dead hand. Or do I just go for N here? I think I just go for N. It's too painful of a hand to get rid of a Stretcher and another VS Seeker with the Sycamore. So we'll just do it this way. Okay. Don't think I need Magma Secret Base in this matchup. I want to go as non-EX as possible. So again, we'll sack off one of our 4 choice bands. Maybe that was what we prized. Yeah, we prized 1 choice band. We'll just grab another Zorua. We need to guarantee it. And I'm going to retreat into Lele, hoping that he can't go absolutely nuts with his discard pile. Slash baiting him to go nuts with his discard pile, so that we can Oricorio to respond. So let's find out what they are able to do, and we will try to respond appropriately. The Vespi coin is here. It has a choice band. See a VS Seeker, please be an N. Has to be N, right? Yeah. Sweet. Great news. Get this hand out of here. Get back in the deck, you cards. Oh, can I have my old hand back? What's going on here? Okay. The unknown chain is happening. There's a Flareon. Not going to be too relevant in this matchup. But simply getting out of the hand and a pass. Huh. Huh, indeed. Does my turn involve Brigette here? Don't think it does. I think my turn is Ultra Ball away, Stadium Brigette. To find my other Lele. Commit energy elsewhere and Sycamore. Yeah. I could still play the Stadium if I want to. We're always getting rid of one energy, right? So let's just grab Lele. Even though Octillery is prized, I'm going to put down Remoraid. He's going to be important later on. Let's float down the active just in case we don't find Zoroark. I'm going to commit energy here. Let's Lele again. This time Sycamore is the play. And we may as well put down the Magma base. It was either this or just discarded Dark Energy anyway, so this gets some value maybe somewhere. Let's evolve up into Zoroark. Is it worth us taking a knockout here? Our hand is like really bad again. I think we're better off just passing. Let's pass. Doing his job for him, right? By putting 2 more Pokemon in the discard pile when it's not a Vespiquen. I'd much rather try and find like a Lysandre, develop more Zoro pieces. Here is a Double Colorless to Vespi. 3 Pokemon in their discard so far. Interesting that they commit energy. Maybe they have Sycamore. Or N or something. Love another N. That would be fabulous. Fabulous. There is a Lele. For a Sycamore, indeed. Indeed. And here comes the Sycamore. Let's see how many Pokemons. 3? Yeah, 3. There's a Klefki as well on their bench, doing the Wonderlock shenanigans. Going to the active, so they can't dig for Floatstone now. So they're accepting that they can't attack this turn, I guess. There's Oranguru. And it comes back over to us. Stretcher is not helpful. Copying Heat Breath doesn't sound smart. Do I Brigette here? I think I'd rather keep Brigette around for Oricorio. 3, 4, 5, 6 right now. Maybe I just bench Drampa and go for Big Wheel. That sort of elicits some response from him, right? That sort of forces him to put more Pokemon in. So it's 6, 7 with Klefki, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 so far with Choice Band. We only need 16. But we have our Zoro set up, right? And this way we can get a better hand than this. I don't feel we ever have an opportunity to do this any other time in the game. So let's go for it. Man, you know when I said we'd get a better hand? God, this is not a better hand. This is like an equally bad hand. Just a higher number of cards in it. I'm going to see the VSE for the end regardless. I don't mind because this hand was bad. Well, let's see what fresh hand we get, I guess. This is better. Double colorless equals better hand. That's all that matters. Down goes Shaman. Well, gets discarded at least. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 5 isn't quite enough. Currently. Can we please just draw into some Zoroark? Jeez. Okay. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 150 means he would be 10 off, which means he always gets there. But do I just start initiating a race here? Alternative is to stand in and take the knockout with Zoroark. Start racing with a non-EX first. Try and do the old non-EX trade-off. I think I'd rather have N on my side against this deck, right? Let's just Berserk. I'd love to have had a Lysandre there, but Berserk is fine for now. This keeps him having to spend a double colorless. I know he's not playing any special charge yet, but it means it's not a double colorless on another attacker or like a lele or something. I see a stretcher here. Interesting. Gonna grab a Shaman to hand. Just to Ultra Ball. What are these plays? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 140. Here's Zorua. Confusing plays. They are going to go for the double colorless. Retreat. They have Kukui or something. Huh. Very confusing plays. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were adding up the Flareon knockout. That was really bad. But at least we had the board built, right? Let's try and squeeze one more game in. That was pretty bad for our opponent. I mean, us just doing the 80 wasn't very good there, but it forced him to do those weird things. And when he already had a full bench, it meant he couldn't do like clef key shenanigans or anything, or unknown clef key chains, so I felt it would have been fairly awkward for him to get the KO. Ooh, this is an awkward hand. This is not a Lele Brigette turn 1. Unless we top deck like a champ. Oh, we're getting a mulligan. Fantastic news. Please, mulligans. Oh, yes. Okay, they play Delinquent. Remember this. Remember this, team. Need to play around Delinquent this game. Always important to look at your opponent's mulligans. Because you need to spot these things to know to play around them. Yeah, give me these now, please. Oh no. Top deck like a god, please. Oh, he's going first, of course. Okay. He might end us just because we drew mulligans. Senpai. Altar of the Moon, so it's probably yeah, it's an Espeon build. 3 Pokemon in the discard already. Oricorio says hello. Choice Band Eevee. He's gonna go straight into the Espeon. Espeon, we have good things that we can copy, but also they have good damage. Oh no. Okay. KO Trubbish this turn with Kukui. Sure. It's aggressive, right? I like aggressive. Getting an Ultra Ball's really good. This time we prize Remoraid, which is sadness. Smack him. What a revelation. Here comes Espeon. Choice band to the Trubbish that he just benched. He could have put on the other one. So maybe he's trying to leave this for Floatstone Garbatoxin. Quite likely. Double Colorless gets found, just a Psychic to respond on us. We can stretch her back. Let's do it! Give me a Pokemon. Come here, Oricorio. Can we get this game? You're a Psychic type. You can do things. I mean, I could hit him for 100 this turn with Revelation Dance. Sounds really good to me. The only thing that's bad about it is we can't develop more Zoroark. Let's end and try and find Choice Bands plus Zoroarks. Well, just the Zoroarks are fine, I guess. We can find Choice Bands at a later date. That's why I'm evolving this one, because I want to develop Choice Bands. Just hit him for 60. Could have been 100 with Kukui, but I feel developing Zoroarks are more important. He might go for a Divide GX this turn, but I also think this Oricorio is actually threatening enough for him to want to deal with. Which is hilarious. It's just hilarious. Gonna see the VS Seeker. I'd rather it be an N than a Sycamore, but that's all they have. Gonna get rid of DCE, which is good for us. Give me the GX attack to KO Zoroark, or just an attack on the active. See a Choice Band, get commit to the other EV. Interesting choice here, because the break is really threatening for him as well. Yeah, it's just going to be the active. Interesting. Oricorio. What a shift he's put in today. Come on, top decks. Nice. 3, 6, 9, 10. We can't get there via this, so we need to get Dark Energy, right? 6, 9, 12, 15. Dark Energy gets us there. Let's go. Oh, baby. We did it, team. How many items in our discard pile? 2. We won't play down Zorua because of Delinquent. Ah, actually no. We will put it down because we'll be taking prizes. Ah, okay. Let's stop being an idiot. It means I can't Ultra Ball though, because then we would be at a 3 Pokemon hand, 3 card hand. So we'll just bench this guy. It's a shame that we can't get another Zoroark down, but I'm pretty certain we won't get Response KO'd. So this is where Zoroark Break starts to shine and is an absolute beast. Hopefully we can find Remoraid. No. Nope. Never lucky. That's fine. That's fine. That's good. That's better than fine. I'm happy with this result. How many items are in their discard pile? 2, 4, 6, 8. Only 80. Ooh, maybe it's more now. 2, 4, 6. No, 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 no. So we can't copy a KO on Garbodor. We could acid spray him though. Spraying someone with acid seems like a good idea. Trash launch for 20. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Okay. We have drawn Darkness Energy. Darkness Energy isn't great here. But I think I'm going to commit it to Zorua nonetheless. I'm going to Ultra Ball for Zoroark. And then I'll Special Charge back into DCEs, then we'll Lele. Okay, looking good, looking good. Now the question is, do I Sycamore or N? I think I Sycamore. Try and find more Zoroark pieces. We can N at a later date. Get back in here, DCE. Need ya. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Man, Oricorio is going to be good at some point in this game. Trust me. Trust me. 2, 4, 6, 8. So we're going to copy Acid Spray for sure here. Don't want to play any of the cards. He did 20, so he's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 down to 80. I could do Ultra Ball for 100 and Ultra Ball away my own N and Hex. I think that's fine. Just to find Zoroark. And I'm going to Acid Spray. And we get heads, which is hilariously good for us. Because they're so reliant on Ultra of the Moon Retreat, and he's already got a Choice Band attached, it means this is another terrible Garbodor turn for him. This is really good. Really good stuff. Eight's Pokemon in the discard pile. Unfortunately, Oricorio is in ours. We do have our second stretcher though. But at some point we could do a crazy revelation dance and KO lots of things at once. Who knows? Those early smacks was great. Now we're going to get hit with N here. Normally we'd be fine because of Octillery, but it's just chilling in our prizes. Ooh, there's the stretcher. The long-awaited rescue stretcher. Here's the trash launch for not enough damage. Double Colorless Energy is a good draw. Yep. Good draws are good. Protect our break. Force him to GX attack to KO the break and the Zorua. That is a 2-prize turn for him. But then we can stretch back the break and KO him with Psychic and win the game. So we'll bench Drampa, playing around N more than anything. Keep these 2 cards. Obviously bad against Delinquent. Oh man, maybe I should have kept Drampa for Delinquent, huh? I mean, he's not played it. He'd have to have it in a 4-card hand. I think we're fairly safe. Fairly safe, maybe. Maybe this is how we lose. After saying all game that we need to be smart and play around it, I have decided to bench a Drampa. But at this point, I'm playing around N, right? Oh, he promoted Garbodor. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Kind of Lysandre the break. Get himself a knockout like a champ. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 is not ideal for us. We can Lysandre. Lysandre's not ideal here. I think again it's going to be a trash turn. I do these 3 targets so I can teammates here. I think this provides us with the most options. Let's hit him for 70. This time tails. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So we'd have to Kukui to get the knockout, or attack with Espeon. You can see the float stone to the active. Energy to the bench, and yeah, just 120. So we are dealing 6, 9, 12, 15. So no, we want to go. I think I want to Kukui this turn. So we choice band. Oh, I need to cash in on the break now because he'll GX attack it. Okay. Choice band goes here. We top up our hand first. We draw terrible cards. It's Ultra Ball. Get another Zoroark, I think. I could just get another break here. No, another Zoroark's better. This is better. This is better. These are wise moves. I think I just Sycamore. I could end them to 3, but it doesn't sound great. We don't need a hand. We have Octillery, right? Yeah, we have Octillery. Maybe I shouldn't have spent the VS Seeker just to end. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 12 when we KO this. It's going to be crazy good for us. Whichever we prefer. Going down to 1 prize, but we have the support of Octillery to hopefully get us there. See the Double Colorless get committed. See the Versus Seeker for the Lysandre. Not quite sure why this is. We have enough stand-ins. Okay, takes 1 prize on our break. Okay, starting to set up the Drampa with the rest of the damage. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, Oricorio could do a hilarious amount of damage, but it's not going to be important in this game. Seeker has to be the game here. We can do 3, 6, 9, 12, 180 choice band. So we just teammates for Dark Energy Break. Oh no. Oh no! We're at Dark Energy. Oh, I've already played my supporter as well. Uh-oh. Did I lose the game? Did I lose the game? Maybe. Definitely maybe. Oh, sugar. This was not part of the plan. Our last prize is a Dark Energy. 3, 6, 9, 12. 180. Float Stone on our other Zoroark is a thing. Oh man. Oh no. I mean, they still need Lysandre, right? Even Lysandre's not enough to KO any of our guys. Huh, I think we're actually still fine. So I think I'm going for Confusion this turn. We'll put this guy down. I will not play Energy because it just puts us in range of things. Actually, I can put it on Oricorio. Draw 3 cards. Confusion. You can see Field Blower. I think we're still actually fine. Pretty sure Confusion locks this down. Now he's going to try and confuse us. But we can stand in. We have 3, 6, 9, 12, 180. So it's just a double stand in. Copying his own Psychic, and we got there. We got there. Damn you, Beetle Dark Energy. And damn me for not checking. Well, there we go. Zoroark Drampa doing work, winning games, taking names. It did well over the weekend for 2 different pilots. And overall, I think I found a good middle ground. We prized Octillery twice. Twice we prized the pieces. In our 3rd game, we were still able to get it in the late game, and it didn't actually affect our game because we didn't have the pieces in our deck to dig for. But it meant that we were carefree and weren't too worried about their incoming ends. So that is going to list, you guys. Hope you enjoyed the battles, the discussion, and everything else. So leave a like to this video if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already. What do you think about Drampa? What do you think about Zoroark? What do you think the combination of the two is? Does this deck need evolutions to improve some matchups against the likes of Decidueye, Metagross, Volcanion? Put it all in the description below. I'd love to hear from you. But for now, it has been Joe from OmniPoke, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.